remember clearly that one colleague said that this skill was maybe the most important one because it made students able to go on with their own competencies, even when our mission at school is finished and they start to be workers with the need to always upgrade their own skills. So I found a very interesting contribution from another Erasmus Plus project, and I would like to show you, and I will let it inside the folder when you find all the other information about the project. So this is exactly what you asked. The project is all-in teacher's kit, assessment of learning to learn skills. So you can find some very interesting example of methods to use at school for learning to learn skill, for the assessment of these important competence. There were different countries contributing to this project. So you can find Germany and Romania, Spain, Italy, and Belgium. And you have 20 methods for an assessment. For each method, you find a description and what teachers say about the opportunity to use this sort of assessment inside classes. You also have an all-in-one identikit contribution, and I also will give it to Benedetta so you can maybe use some of the tips that you find inside this. I hope it will be useful for you for even going over all the examples we use together. And this is the first thing I would like to show you. Okay. Then the second thing that I would like to ask you is whether you had the opportunity to use the exercise that I gave you last time. The exercise to give to the students, letting them do a personal assessment about their skills going to work as an internship, as a work-based learning inside the school curriculum. Does somebody has the opportunity to use it inside the classes, or to use it personally, just to see whether the questions are not only useful but also correct for the level of the students? Well, maybe 2 days are not too many just to practice all the exercises you received. If you have some contribution to tell to the group, it is absolutely welcome, and I'm happy to hear you. Or if you prefer to write to me, you have my personal email, so you can write to me, and we can share your ideas, your opinion. I would be very glad to hear about you. something. And the last thing that I would like to say to you is about the assessment, the personal assessment that I propose you through performance. Maybe you can remember the opportunity to have a personal assessment of working skills. Some of you tried to do this assessment. It is a test. There are 70 questions, not 17, 70. It seems a lot of questions, but you only need a quarter of an hour, no more than that, to go through it. So if you think it could be interesting and useful for you, please write to me so I can send you the invitation, which arrives from the performance server. So after that, I started a new subject for today, which is the work-based learning. I open the presentation that I prepared for you. Okay. So dual system and WBL. What are we going to talk about this afternoon? Well, the first thing we will go through is a definition, a more clear definition about WBL and the models that you can find inside and outside the school. Then I would like to talk to you about the differences that you find between N-ship and WBL. It is important to go through this difference in order to clearly understand what we are looking for, what sort of skills and competencies we are looking for, and what is the path that it is best one to follow, following my experience and the experience of my colleagues that are that usually use this opportunity to upskill students. Then we will talk about training students at WBL. In a practical way, just thinking about our classes and thinking about possible models of training. After that, we will start a more technical part. When we use WBL, we have to establish some agreements with companies where our students will go to practice to make their stage. How to do that, which models we can use. We will have a specific kit that I will give you in the folder that you can use. These are the documents, real documents that we use for these agreements. Then we will define what are the competencies that we can see, that we can check, that we can assess through WBL. And then last thing that we are going to talk about is how to verify results. I don't know exactly which part of this summary I will do today. This is the first part, and the other part we will do next Tuesday. So it's a complete lesson in two parts. So Let's start with the WBL definitions and model. So when we speak about work-based learning, we all know that this is a very important, fundamental, I would say, aspect of the vocational training. It is absolutely our mission because we are trying to build knowledge, skill, and competencies which are essential for the students to go on in their working life. What we have to say is that all the skills that we think about are very important not only to obtain a job, but of course also to keep it and to go on in a professional development. So this is, for instance, the reason why learning to learn is a very important skill together with and entrepreneurship entrepreneurship skills together with the creativity skills together with social skills. So all the competencies we talk about in the last lessons are assumed to be in a practical way in WBL. We have different types of WBL. The first one is the one that we can also see in our job. We simulate what is going on in the company. We do that, for instance, when we have practical lessons. We do that when we teach something referring to specific devices. We do that when we practice all the theoretic subject that we propose to the students. Going on with this sort of model, we can provide something that is related to the world of work. This can be in a formal way or in an informal way. We talk about WBL, talking about alternance, talking about training companies, talking about apprenticeship. All these are possible way to build WBL because in all forms in all models of working, we can find a way to develop not only practical skills, but professional skills in a more wider way. If we would like to classify this WBL for the acquisition of knowledge, we can refer to 4 sorts of specific typologies. The first one is the so-called dual system. Maybe the first country that specialized in this dual system is Germany. Germany proposed this sort of WBL to all students going to the professional schools. It is a formal apprenticeship. It is something that is that makes the learner to be legally an employee. I clearly remember the first time I had the opportunity to visit a mechanic company in Germany, and I saw very young students just at the side of the skilled worker doing his job, his or her job, and trying to practice in a basic way, of course. following all the steps of the procedure, trying to understand what are the most difficult things to know, trying to understand the problem solving way of doing that job. In this specific dual system, you have an integration between the companies which act exactly as an operator training on one side, and on the other side, school and vet providers. So school and companies work together in order to build a complete skill for this specific job. They start from a classification of competencies that specific job needs to have, and they built a complete training, join what we can do at school and what company can do on its side. After this first part, we will see a model in which we clearly understand which are the steps of this way to build competencies together. How can this opportunity be distributed during the period of school? It depends on the school. It depends on the company. Sometimes it is something that is doing weekly. After that, I will show you an example which is made on a weekly basis. But maybe it can be monthly or annually. It depends on the company. It depends also on the country. If there is a sort of legal assessment, a legal way to have this kind of dual system be recognized by the country. For instance, I can say you that in our vet school last year we had a period of dual system on the second year of vet school during 1 month, and on the third year during also 1 month. Starting from this year, in Italy, the law changed, and we have by now, for this first year, a 2-month dual system on the third year of school. Of course, it was necessary to change programs because it was necessary for the students to have all the theoretical basis before going to the company, in order to have this dual system really effective on their preparation. Then another kind of WBL is when learner is legally a student. It is not a dual system. We can call it traineeship, internship, work placement, or cooperative learning. It is different because we do not have, for instance, during the holiday periods, students stay at home, while in the previous system, students are more likely to be workers, so they go to work. They sometimes, quite always, also receive a small wage for their work. This is important because it changes their feeling towards what they are doing. Then the third way to consider WBL is virtual or real training experiences integrated inside within school education programs. In this sort of WBL, you have workshops, you have a simulation, you have company visits, you have the opportunity to collaborate and to create a framework in which school and companies join to build um, competencies, uh, without using a large period outside school. This is inside school. It is very useful, for instance, for the first year, because when students come from their primary school and secondary school of the first degree, they are very young. In Italy, they are 14. So maybe it would be very difficult for them to go directly in the company because they still need to build many soft skills just because they are very young. They have to understand how to behave, how to deal with difficulties, how to go through challenges. This is exactly what we said in our first meeting. Then the last WBL is doing something that is very, very important also for us as a teacher. That's to say, job shadowing and work experiences. The aim is to teach. The aim is to teach about work rather than to work. For instance, when we go for a job shadowing outside our school, we can be side by side with other teachers, trying to understand their specific way of training. It is not our duty to teach in the class. We can do that for an exercise, but the most important thing is to be side by side to somebody who is teaching. And this is exactly the same thing for the work-based learning in a company. Students are not driven to work, but that they are only their aim is to understand what the work is like without practicing it, only watching to it. Okay, so I would like to start this first part to know how are your experiences about that? Which sort of WBL you usually use in your school? If you had the opportunity to practice you as a person or towards your class, please, I'm ready for your collaboration and for your intervention inside the class. Please, Isaac, I give you the
Uh,
floor.
okay, thank you. I think I'll talk about the third point, that is real training enterprise. You realize that this is in a form of attachment. After learning or studying in class, we have to go to the field and experience the real training that we were getting in the theoretical manner. So in this case, we are going and intern know how life situation and both book or the theory, so you can work with as well. That is what I want to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you very much. It was a bit difficult to understand you because the line was not so clear, but I could catch.
So
Yes,
you are
please.
coming. Okay. What I mean is, can you hear me now, please?
Yes,
Can
I
you hear
do.
me now, please? Okay. What I mean is, the third point, which is training, is about which deal with the training. This means we are going to train the people. Most of it we learn in the classroom. Then the students will go outside the classroom as internship or whatever, practical attachment. So they get the theological aspect in the real life situation so that they can blend the two, both the practical and the theoretical aspect of what the person is learning. Example, if you are a construction student, you can have the knowledge about, let's say, bonding or laying of blocks or bricks on book. Then when you go to the field, you should be able to use the technicalities that you have acquired in the classroom, then you apply it on the field of play so that you can see both how the theory works and how the practical works. That is what I mean.
So that was absolutely clear. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you very much.
Welcome, madam.
So I see that also Boema Philip raised his hand. Philip, I give you the floor.
Yes, yes. So mine, I just want to contribute to what Isaac where he left off. So during the curriculum development for the various trade areas. So for instance, Ghana, for instance, the CBT concept is the curriculum for CBT concepts has actually been designed to bridge the gap between the institutions or the classroom and then the industry. So whatever is going, so the curriculum has been developed in such a way that learners or students will not go or will not come out from the training from the institutions and then they can't function or they can't work in the industry base. So the curriculum has been developed in such a way that whatever is going on at the industry level or on the field of work, that is what we also as teachers or facilitators use to teach the learners or the students in classroom. And then moreover, similar to the dual system here in Ghana, when during the vacation, that was what I think my brother Isaac was trying to say. During long vacation for let's say a month, 2 months or so, that is when learners are also privileged to be or go on the well program, the workplace experience learning. That is when whatever they've been taught in the classrooms or in the various institutions, they go to the field and spend some time with the engineers there or with the real workers on the field and then know how it is being done. Maybe sometimes there will be some small changes. So whatever they experience at the workplace experience learning. When they come back to the institution or to the schools, or when school resumes, they will come and give their experiences of whatever they saw there. Then we move forward from there. Thank you.
Thank you to you, Philip. Thank you for your contribution. Also in my school, we use a long vacation for doing some internships, which is maybe the best period because it's outside the school. But it is also very useful to use periods inside the school year, because there is a prior and a after. So we can see during the year the upskills of the students. Of course, if it is possible. Not always it is possible, because it not only depends on our calendar, it depends on the companies, it depends on the disposable of the companies, it depends on many things. We sometimes try to make that inside. Okay. Thank you for your contribution. Then I go on with the presentation. Afeni, I saw your hand. Please, I give you the floor.
The others, oh, okay. I was waiting for the others to be done. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I think our model actually almost encompasses the 1 to 3. We run the dual system, but it's a bit different in that the companies, the students are our students. So they spend a time in school, like a year, understanding the theoretical, and they also do practical in school, sometimes close to what you call the borderline. So that one is incorporated in class. They do practicals, and sometimes they get assessed based on that practical. Now, it's a dual system, but it incorporates 1 and 2 in the sense that they spend a year and some months in school. Then we meet cooperating companies and we agree. They go on internship for 10 months. And when the students, and during that period, they also report to school. Maybe initially it was once a week, but after the COVID, we changed it to once a month. So, and that's how we run. So at the end of the term, once the student is done, he comes back to school to do what we call a final assessment. Then he graduates, then he can start the normal work. So that's how we run our own in IT.
Thank you. It is very, very interesting because, while 10 months is a very long period, and doing the assessment at the end is a very good way to understand in a practical way what are the skills that the students developed, and to be able to put the skills in a curriculum so they can demonstrate it to the further companies. Thank you very much for your contribution. Then I would like to go on this information, underlining some differences between internship and WBL. We have formal and informal apprenticeships. When we talk about informal apprenticeship, sometimes we think about something that is more an informal agreement. So this is outside the school. This is something that we see in not thinking about what we do for our students. Is it useful? Yes, of course it is. It is very useful because young people learn a job. But the negative thing is that there is not a qualification. There are no rules. There is only practical learning, which is not a bad thing, which is the worst thing is that they do not have any qualification related to their job. So what we would like to go on with is something which is regulated, which is integrated in a formal curriculum, which leads to qualification, with how our colleague said before, is based on an assessment, is based on what the student knows before and after, what we can teach him or her, and what he has the opportunity to learn outside the school context, but in a strictly related way to the curriculum of the student. I make you an example. Sometimes students have a family company, but this family company is not always the same field to their specialization of school. And they ask me, please teacher, may I do my trainship in the restaurant of my family? Oh, well, what is your specialization? I'm a mechanic. Oh, no, you can't. It is important that you, if you can work for your family business, but this is not the way you can integrate your job, your experience to your curriculum. Of course, you can learn also some soft skills. You can join them, and it is a very good information for you to have. It is a very important way to practice it in a real work context. But we cannot integrate it in your curriculum. Going on with the formal apprenticeship, we said before, learner is legally an employee. That means that there is a contract that is signed, and this contract is carried on by the school. I will give you then an example of how this contract is signed, of the document that we use, so we can compare it with your experience, and I would like to know your experience about that after that. As we say before, the integration means that there is a necessity for the student that becomes a worker to follow all the regulation of the job, of the company. So we have a working plan, we have a dress code, we have a specific timing, for instance, to have a stop, a specific way to ask whether a person can or cannot go to the work. There is a regulation and a legislation about, for instance, wages, qualification, assessment. It is very important to know it, and they are all different from one country to another. So we can simply make some examples just to understand what we are talking about, and to try to find some links from this example to our own situation. Then I would like to stop just a moment, and to find your own definition of apprenticeship and traineeship. We previously listened to your colleague talking to the experience in his school. I would like to know whether you have different kinds of work-based learning, uh, or if you or if it is the first time that you face directly with this situation for any reason. I'm asking that because I know that there are many different subjects that you teach. So I don't know, maybe teachers that are more likely to be technical teachers that learn technical subjects are more likely to be near to this work-based learning. It is only an idea. I would like to confirm it to me. Okay, if there isn't any contribution, I go on with my presentation. Training students at WBL. So this is a proposal on a weekly basis. We choose the example. We can go through this example, but we can also imagine to extend it to a more larger period. It's just to see which are the steps. This imagine is taken from a specific site, a website, which is www.workbasedlearning.eu, talking about how you can integrate the dual system with the qualifications. So what you see is the first day or the first period. Students are in the classrooms with teachers and they learn soft and professional skills. This is the normal way we teach. This is something that we do even without WBL. Just giving the students all the soft and professional skills that are referred to our school, to our specialization. Then in the second period, we imagine Tuesday, we imagine the second year, students propose to the company, to the tutor. Why? We would like the students to be the protagonist of their WBL. We would like to be able to know where they would like to go for an internship. For this reason, we ask them to propose the company. For instance, a company which is interesting for them. For instance, a company which is nearer to their home because they do not have any transportation, personal transportation opportunity, and so it is more difficult to move very far from. What that the tutor can do, the tutor or the project manager of the WBL? It assesses the company and prepares official documents. What is this assessment? There is we will see it in a few moments. There is an agreement that has to be made between the school and the company, which is based on some requirements that the company has to have. If the company fulfill these requirements, then the tutor prepares some official documents. And during the period, here you see the year, but it is the school year, the tutor monitors all the activities of the students inside the company in order to see whether the skills that have to be developed during the WBL are really effective. Then there is the period inside the company. Students are the company, they learn the professional skills, they're under the responsibility of the company tutor. They have to follow rules and processes that are typical of the company in which they are. And then we have the last day, the last period, as your colleague said before, the assessment. The tutor students prepare monitoring documents about the activities that they developed in the company. They have to have a diary. They have to describe what they did. They have to say how they feel about that. There are some models to use for this, and we will see them. The company tutor also assesses the competence that the student achieved during the period. And so these two assessments are together in the curriculum, in the school curriculum, and in the curriculum of the student when he or her finishes the school. Of course, the WBL has many benefits, many important benefits for all the parts. Why? Because for us as a teacher, we have the opportunity to give the practical skills to the students, not only in our laboratories, in a simulation, but also in a practical way to drive our students to understand the real impact of what we teach them. For the student, of course, the benefit is very clear. They start from a theoretical point of view, and they have the opportunity to challenge themselves in a real situation. For the companies, they have the opportunity to have contacts with schools, so with the institution that has the aim to build the skills that are necessary for the job that they realize. They have the opportunity to keep in touch with the students that will become future workers, to know them in 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 advance, to have the opportunity to teach them their specific processes, to have the opportunity to see how they behave in a real situation, to have the opportunity also to understand the difference from what they need and what the school gives to the students. This is very important because, as we said at the very beginning of our meeting, the practical world of work is going very, very quick, is going through technological upgrades, is going through integration, is going through complexity. And we as a school are sometimes in difficulty in following the speed of this changing. So to be in contact with companies is a great opportunity to know where the work world is going, and so where the skills we give to the students needs to go. Work-based learning has the necessity to have great coordination and cooperation. It cannot be done in a free way. It is necessary to realize a specific path. It is necessary to think about it in advance and to define the specific responsibilities of each part, because each part has a role inside it. So we can understand clearly that what are the benefits. I will give you this form as a possible exercise for you to use inside your class. It is very important that not only us as a teacher are aware of the benefits of WBL, but also learners. They have to, they could possibly fill this three square to put in their own opinion which are the benefits for them, which are the benefits for the company, which are the benefits for the school. And then you can use these for this exercise to introduce the trainship and the innership, starting from what is good for all the parts that are called to cooperate to make a good WBL path. We say that there are different responsibilities. Of course, it is necessary to say, as we are absolutely aware of, I'm sure about that, that the greatest way is on us as a school, not exactly as teacher, but as an institution, because it is the institution that is in charge to give the skills that the students need. It is in charge to give the students good experiences in the work world. This is also something that is useful to do for inside the class. The second step, the students has to understand where the different responsibilities are. Where is the responsibility for planning? Is about the school, is on the school. What is the responsibility of training on the job? Is on the company. What is the responsibility on project promotion? Is on the school. So each part of these steps is also a step in building the path. It is important not to avoid any of these steps, because if we do that, we risk not to build a very good experience for the student. So let's talk about the stuff in the WBL process. We have the training tutor, the in-company tutor and mentor, the WBL training project manager. I go through each of these person just to understand which is the best way to choose them, which is the best way to cooperate with them. So the first person in the staff of WBL process is the training project manager. This person is the person that elaborates the plan. It is the person that usually get in touch with the company. It defines the plan. It is the reference. He is the reference of the tutors because he has the opportunity to validate all the paths that are in the school and outside the school. This person needs to be very skilled. Usually, he or her is a person who had the opportunity to be a school tutor for a certain time. He has the opportunity to be a teacher for us for a long time. So he both knows students and the way the students think and behave, and the skills the students have, and the companies, the way they think, the way they need, and the skill they can give, and the skill that they can give, of course, also, because it is a clear idea that it is necessary to have. Then we have the training tutor. He or her is the person that has the charge of assisting the students. He has the responsibility to define the practical part of the internship of the WBL process. He or her follows the student inside the company. He prepares the mentoring assessment, the final assessment. It is a very important role to cover, because this person has to have both the trust of the student and of the company. he or her is the real link between the two institutions. Then we have the company tutor or mentor. This is the person that is identified by the company to be the reference for the students and for the school. As a training tutor, as teacher, we cannot be every day inside the company. So the students has to have a person to refer to ask for his or her doubts, for his or her questions, for the things he has to learn, for every feature regarding the job, the specific process inside the company. For this reason, we usually ask that the company tutor is not cannot be a newcomer. He cannot be a person that has a little experience inside the company, because it is necessary that this person can be a real reference in order to plan, to manage, and also to control the result of what the student is doing during his or her training. If we can distribute the work processes inside WBL, we can say that company identify the tutor, the company tutor. Company makes a co-planning. Company train on the job. Company is responsible of the assessment of the skills that are developed inside the company. The school, on its part, plans the training course, make all the promotion of the project, prepares the administrative documentation. Then the company has to go through it, to complete it, to sign it. The schools prepares formal training, gives the formal training to the student. When I think about formal training, I do not only think to theoretical subjects. I also think to something that is really related to the training. That's to say, to prepare students to go in the school with simulation also. For instance, a simulation of the dialogue, of the first dialogue with the future company tutor, how to relate to him or to her. And then, of course, the school gives all its support to the personal training plan. Why? Because the first aim is to build the student skills. So we have always to be aware that, as I said before, the school is the first responsible for the best result of the WBL. Okay, I would like to know whether you ask whether there is any question about that, or if there is any contribution that you would like to give to the group. Please, Fanny, I give you the floor.
Okay. With respect to the staff, at our end, we have what we call industrial linkage. So the one you call the training project manager is an in-school person from our end that does the liaising with the in-company tutor and the school. So maybe I don't know the models that run probably in Italy, or I know what some also do, probably like in the German dual system. Sometimes they have the training project manager that visits the school, the vet providers, and also visit the company and creates a bridge. But in our own situation, the way we run, this one you call the training project manager, we call it industrial linkage, and is the one that is responsible for the partnership between the school and the company to create an avenue for the students to have their workplace placement for them to learn. That's how our own model runs. That's my own contribution.
Thank you, Afeni. Thank you very much. Yes, sometimes there is the same person has two different roles. I would like to define each of them because it is important to be aware of the responsibility of the role. Of course, the same person can have both. Please, Isaac, I give you the floor.
Okay, madam, thank you. In Ghana here, we call that person liaison officer. He liaison between the school or the institution and the that's what I want to add on.
Thank you, Isaac. Okay, so I'm going to go through some practical models so that you can use, that you can have and personalize. And I hope that maybe there is something that can be useful for you. Maybe you have, I'm sure you already have some of them. It is important to, in my opinion, to see different models in order maybe to better. I am also ready to receive any suggestion for you. So after understanding the roles of different roles in WBL, let's see what does establishing company agreements mean. We will go through the preparation of the partnerships between companies and school, and to see which are the advantages. Then the first thing to say is that a partnership is, of course, an agreement between two parties. We have to decide which are the purpose that we want to carry on, and which are the parties that we want to involve to go towards the goal that we want to reach. In the specific WBL, what we want to have a result is the transfer, I'm not sure that that this is the correct way to say that in English. The way to link the knowledge and the skills of the students from the school to the company and vice versa. and from the company to the school. The company maybe wants to find people to hire. The school wants to increase the skill of the students. The teachers want also to train people, students, to be good workers. These are all possible and absolutely normal goals of this partnership. We want to write them, we want to sign them, we want to decide a model in which we state all these objectives to be clear for all the parts. So when we consider the structure of the partnership, we have many partners that we have to involve. Sometimes there is a model that is given by the institution. For instance, the ministry, the public administration, regional public administration, which is in charge of the educational system, which is in charge of the employment system. It depends on which sort of WL we are doing. As I said before, we can choose a model which is a dual system, in which the student is more likely to be a worker, and so we need the employment institution, or a model in which the student is a student, only a student. So we need the public education institution to be included in the partnership. Each actor has its different role. It's an underlinement of what I said before. There are many different opportunities. There are many different goals. There are many different responsibilities. So each part is in charge of its own site, its own aspect of the WBL. Going on with the advantages for the companies and for the school. The company can support students to and has the opportunity to have some young worker to go on with the daily activities, with the business activities. Students, of course, learn, but they also give some services, some help to the business activities, which is useful for the company, of course. They have the opportunity to train students specifically for their field, for their production needs, for what they need to carry on. They have the opportunity to evaluate students before they finish their school, and so to give them opportunity to be hired inside the company. We as a school have the opportunity to share knowledges. In particular, I see when school tutors go visiting students during their internship and talk with the company tutor and share the information about the jobs, about what the student already knows, what the student doesn't know and has to learn during the internship. In this way, the school has the opportunity to develop courses, new programs, new curriculum, in following what the labor market really asks, what is needed by the companies. And then they have the opportunity to make the companies aware of what the school is able to give to the student, to transfer these skills in order to have the companies more aware of what the students really can do inside the structure. So after saying that, what are the characteristics that we require to the company? Well, the first thing is that the field has to be consistent with the specialization of the school and of the specific student. It has to be useful because it has to be linked to the curriculum of the students. For this reason, it has to be the equipments that we need the student knows, the student practice. For instance, going to the mechanical sector, he has to, if we have a student that is specialized on welding, it has to have the welding machines, he has to provide the safety equipments, he has to give the student the opportunity to practice on a specific tool. It is very important to know even how many places the company offers to the school. Just because there has to be a correct relation between the number of trainees that are inside a company and the number of workers that can be on their side. Not only talking about the company tutor, who is the supervisor, but really talking about the skilled workers that are already inside the company. For instance, if we talk about a dual system, there is for if the company has one person, he can only has, of course, one trainee. If the company has 5 persons inside the company, it can has 2 students making WBL. It is important to consider this number of places related to the number of workers, because we want to have a good quality result of this experience. If there are too many young people inside, even if they have a good feeling towards what to do, it is difficult that they find a real upgrade of their skills. So if we want to build a good partnership, we use partnership forms, specific documents. We use specific forms for the agreements or contract, and we has to plan an individual training plan using a specific document. So I stop this this document and I open the toolkit that I prepared for you. Okay. You will have it in the folder, as I said at the beginning of the lesson. Okay. So in this toolkit, you have many different documents. You see that's 3, 4, 5, etc. are the pages of the document. We will start analyzing the two first tools for building a partnership, network and operational partnership modules, and business partnership forms. So I try to make it bigger. Partnership application form. You see that under this title, there are some numbers. These are the numbers that are given by the institution, our regional institution that prepared these documents in order to be always the same in our region for all the VET institutions. Is there a question for me?
Yes, I was wondering if you plan to actually display the document, because I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, thank you so much. Can you see it now?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you for telling me. So I go back to the previous page. You find this toolkit inside the folder. Then the toolkit is divided for subjects. In the first part you find, and these are the first modules that we are going to see together, building a partnership. Then these 3, 4, 5, etc. that you see are the pages of the document, which are, it's 32 pages. So the first one, I say again, thank you for telling me. Thank you very much. Is the partnership application form. After the title, you see there are some numbers. These are the numbers given by our regional institutions. You see that there is project submitted by the proposing party. So this partnership application form is given to the company. Is the partnership that we as a school give to the company to be them aware to be part of a project of WBL ownership. Okay, so submitted by the proposing party. This is in the second line. You find the name of the school. The project partner is the company. Name of the company, legal form of the company, contact person for project activities. Sometimes this person is an administrative person. It is not. He is not the tutor, the company tutor, but he is a person who is able to give us the information that we need to go on with a partnership. This first information are the information of the legal representative of the company. So I undersigned Maria Grazia, born at Verona on January 1968 and residing in Verona in the capacity of legal representative of the company Welcome, with a registered office in Verona, zip code street, declares what we want the company to declare. We want it to declare whether it will be an operational partner or a network partner. Which is the difference? The network partner is a partner that only says that we are doing something good in this project. For instance, the company association are network partners, while the company is an operational partner because it goes, it gives really it has an operational part, a practical part inside the agreement. And then to participate in the project with the function of what are the competencies. I hope you can see it clearly because it is no, maybe it is a bit, so maybe it is easier. Design preparation, teaching, tutoring, equipment, location, consulting, ownership, monitoring, disseminating, instrumental material selection, co-teaching, needs analysis, administrations. So we open the company the opportunity to do more than only ownership, more than only tutoring, but also, for instance, to be part of the preparation, to give equipments or locations for the upskilling of the student, to do co-teaching. For instance, a company person can come to the school to describe to the students how is the company like, what is the field of work, what are the jobs that they can do inside the company, what is the opportunity of hiring after the school. And this is a real co-teaching because it is made at school with one of us as a teacher to be in class and helping us to better describe the company. Dissemination of results. Maybe it is important for the company to say we had a student for 1 month and this student gave us the opportunity to be in contact with the school, and then to write that on the website, for instance, or on the social. And of course, at the end, there is the stamp of the partner company and the signature. In this way, the company has a real commitment inside the project. Then, if we choose to have the first model of WEL, that's to say, the dual system in which the student has a real working role inside the company. He or her are under an apprenticeship contract. We also have this second model to be signed. The first information are exactly the same, but the declaration is different. The company declares to be a business partner of the above project that was already described on the previous model, and then to be willing to hire at this company with an apprenticeship contract for a professional qualification, number 1, 2, 3 students, it depends on the number of the workers, as I said before, enrolled in the path of educational and training in experimentation of the dual system, to which this project refers for the achievement of the qualification of, and here you state the qualification of the student, the final qualification of the student. This is something that is very important for the company to know. This law that you see here is the law that permits in Italy the joining between school training and dual system training in the work-based learning.
Please, I would like to find out, looking at the advantages, are the students going to identify the company themselves or the school will identify for them? Thank you.
So if you, I try to identify, how do you, Mabel, I repeat your question, so I'm sure I will understand what you said. How do you identify it? Is it that the question?
I'm saying that looking at the benefits of the benefit to the students and the company, I'm asking, are the students themselves going to identify the companies or the schools will identify for them? Thank you.
Okay. You have both opportunities. You have the opportunities to identify the company through a direct contact between the company and the school, or you have the opportunity to have the student to be the link, but after being the link, we as a school has the responsibility to just call the company or go to the company for a meeting to propose the company the opportunity to have our student as a work-based learner. I saw both situations. Sometimes I have companies that write an email to me simply telling me, we are looking for new workers. We are looking for people to go inside to be hired in our company. Do you have any? Sometimes I can say yes. Sometimes I can say no. I do not have any. But if you would like, you can do something which is even more useful for you. You can host students in an internship in order to give them skills before they finish their school path. They are usually interested in this opportunity because it has no cost for them. It is something for free. So they sometimes they have to make the assurance for the students, but they usually has the assurance for the other workers. So it is something which is not an additional cost for them. Their cost is not something that you can check on money, but it is on time, because it is necessary that they define the company tutor that follow that, who is a person who has the charge to follow the student during the internship. Of course, this is a cost in time, but the benefit that they receive is the opportunity to give the student skills that we cannot do just because it is not our responsibility. We built theoretical skills or simulation skills. They can do real work skills to put in practice what we do during the school time. Do I answer your question, Mabel? Please, Mabel.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I see that way I have Elia having a question for me, raising
Yeah,
his hand.
I want to contribute to the discussion. Where I'm coming from, we call it industrial partnership. We have partnership with the industry. So whenever there's vacancy or they need some of the apprentices to come and then to work, they formally give us letter so that we arrange the student for them. We normally, most of our time, our students normally go for on-the-job training for the 6 months, for 6 months. So when we receive the letter, we also write back to them that, yes, we have the number of students that you want. And sometimes when it is time for them, the student to go for attachment, we also write to them. And where we are coming from, the companies are not all that many. We also advise the learners to also search for places. So when they get the places, they give us the address, we call them and negotiate with them that this person is coming from our institution. So after they've been enrolled, we go there, we visit them in day, in out to make sure what they are doing is right. After that, we keep that institution on our record so that when we are sending trainees outside, we send them the trainees for them to work there for the period of 6 months. And sometimes most of these learners are being employed by such organizations. And then I must say that through that, the organizations also give us feedback, what they want us to teach the learners, so that when they come, it also benefit the organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you, Elia. It was a very clear description of all the process, of all the very important steps, and to you underlined the benefits of both the company and the school. Writing the description of a database on which we can put the companies that are ready to host our students and that are ready to give them practical and good skills for upskilling what we can do at school is very important, because we can give a more strength. We can give more importance to our partnership. We can deeper it. We can receive good feedbacks from them. It is very, very. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we go through this partnership application form, and we go through this business partnership form. After that, we can have many different models for the agreement or contract. But previously, we have to describe what the student can do inside the company. What are the competencies? So I found this this model very interesting, because it is a real very easy list of operational tasks that we think that the person doing this qualification is able to do. For instance, I put inside a wellness operator hairdressing, and you see very easy things and very practical things as we describe the daily work, the daily job, the work day of a person doing this job. So consult the schedule of appointments, identify the tools, equipment, and products appropriate to the task to be performed, check the availability of the tool, find missing tool, prepare tools, check the setting. We as a teacher has the opportunity to know exactly what is the level of autonomy that our student has, and to define that in order that the person that is welcoming his or her inside the company is able to know, oh, for instance, checking the availability of the tools, the level of the economy is 2 or 3, a very good level. So the tutor company has the opportunity to know that from the very beginning, he or her can give to the trainee a mission to do that, the duty to do that, a responsibility to do that, starting from what we said him or her. We can prepare a sort of list of competencies for each of our specialization. So this is the exercise that I will send you and give you inside the folder. I ask you please to try to prepare a list of operational tasks and instruments that a student of a certain year at your school, of a certain specialization, is able to do before going to the internship. I think that this can be useful. You can also build that in class. You can also give it as an assignment to the students. It should be interesting because you can check whether they are aware of a real daily path, of a real daily agenda in their specialization. Okay. So, do you have any question for me? Well, if you do not have any question, I thank you for your contributions. I thank you for your attention, and we will see next Tuesday to go on with this subject.
Thank
Have a
you
nice
very
day.
much. Very nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Elia.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Maria.
much. Thank you very, very much.